Hey guys, welcome to the new 2021 Kia K5. This replaces the Kia Optima for the 2021 model year. Today we're in an EX, which is around $28,000. It's powered by a 1.6-liter turbocharged engine that makes 180 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. The one we have here is front-wheel drive. You can also get the K5 in all-wheel drive, but it's a $3,700 extra. Let's walk you around this car. I'll tell you what it's been like to live with this week. We'll do a sound system test at the end of the video, test out this premium Bose audio. Actually sounds pretty nice. And we'll just kind of go through what this car is like inside and out. To me, this K5 feels very much like the Optima that it replaces and the Hyundai Sonata, which is its corporate cousin. The big deal here is the looks. So they've done quite a bit of design work inside and out. This new front grille is pretty striking. I think it looks very good, especially with these amber DRLs. Very cool. I like the sloping roof design. Kind of reminds me a little bit of the Kia Stinger. This has a decently sized trunk, 60/40 folding rear seats. We even get a spare tire in there. Kia's done a lot of work in this car to reduce NVH and tire and road noise. So we've got carpeted fender liners, a lot of underbody protection, and noise reducing materials. The back seats are quite spacious and roomy. There is a lot of legroom in here. And you can really stretch out in this thing. This is quite spacious, and this panoramic sunroof looks good too. Pretty attractive looking interior. This wood grain is fake, but it is pretty convincing. Got a center armrest, a couple of USB charge ports down there, climate control vents. I like on the door handle, you've got this little lip here. You can push the door out with your knee or use that to pull it in. Just kind of a neat little design element. Let's show you guys under the hood here. The K5 EX is rated for 37 miles to the gallon on the highway, 27 in the city. On the inside, we have a very familiar layout. They've updated a few things like the display here, and we've got some capacitive touch buttons on the side. But honestly, I don't think that's that big of a deal. It is a little bit more difficult to use these buttons when you're on the move, but for the most part, everything you need is nicely organized. You've got Apple CarPlay, Android Auto standard. There is a wireless Apple CarPlay function, but it will only work on the side screen, and I still haven't really been able to get it to do anything this week. So this is the upgraded 10.2-inch touchscreen. And it is quite nice. It's responsive, it's quick, it has a beautiful level of contrast, brightness, saturation. It's a very nice high quality screen. We have a very familiar button layout here on the steering wheel. You've got your cruise control controls, your highway driving assist, your following distance. All of this is very easy to use. You can switch between a few different menus and views here in the center display. You can see we've averaged about 32 miles to the gallon this week, which is pretty darn good. Over here on the left, you can adjust your lane keep assist. You've got a button to pop the trunk over there. All of your window switches. The front windows are one press auto up down, which is great. We have a nice reverse camera. It's reasonably high res, looks pretty good. We have a traditional shifter that's just easy to use. There's your electronic handbrake. You have your heated and cooled seat controls down here. The heated steering wheel is a really nice level of warmth. Heated seat is a little bit hot for my taste, especially even on the lowest setting. You also have cooled seats down here. And this wireless charging situation is kind of neat. It's actually cooled in there, and so it keeps your phone from getting too warm, which is kind of a nice feature. There's little vents that blow air onto your mobile device. Another USB port, lots of charge ports, lots of areas to put things. Everything is kind of lined with this nice grippy rubber material, so nothing's going to slide around too much. We have buttons and knobs for our climate control, and there are even automatic fan levels for your auto climate control. Very nice feature, and in practice it works great. All the materials in here are a little bit plasticky, but the steering wheel has a nice leather, and the feedback that you get from all the buttons and the controls is quite nice. You even have a couple of seat memory settings right here. All right, let's go and take this new K5 for a drive and see what it's like on the road. We have a few different drive modes. We have the smart mode that kind of tells what you're doing, normal, sport, and custom. Let's start off in normal, and we'll take it from there. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this feels very similar to the Optima as far as driving experience. Not a whole lot is different. This 1.6 liter engine is a little bit throatier and a little bit louder than I remember and than what I was expecting in this new K5. It's not bad though. It's got a good amount of torque. The front-wheel drive powertrain has a little bit of difficulty putting the power down when you're really hustling it, but when you're just driving around, it's just fine. It's an easy car to drive smoothly. There's plenty of torque, low down. This is definitely one of the more fun to drive and exciting options in the midsize sedan segment. No paddle shifters on this EX, but again, if you're going to be wanting a sporty Kia K5, I would hold out and get a GT, which is going to have almost 300 horsepower, and that's going to be a pretty fun car. It'll have a dual clutch transmission as well. This 8-speed automatic is very nice. It shifts smoothly. You can control the gears manually down here. You can see it gives you a little bit of a blip, which is nice. Let's see what it's like in sport mode. 180 horsepower goes quite a long way in lower speed driving scenarios, but once you get onto the highway, it tends to feel a little bit strained. The ride quality in this K5 is excellent. The only complaint I have is there are just a few little creaks and rattles from the seals up on the sunroof and the doors, so this is a little bit of a noisy interior in my opinion. Again, could just be this particular press car too. I'm not sure if this is a pre-production vehicle or not. Oh yeah, and it has a very aggressive traction control system. Completely shuts you down whenever you get any wheel spin. And that is pretty annoying because this front-wheel drive does struggle to put its power down sometimes, especially off the line, under cornering. I do wish Kia would do a better job tuning their traction control systems to give you just a little bit more wheel slip and not shut everything down as soon as it senses tire slip. We do have a nice chassis though. Corner's flat, it's responsive. I have a little bit of steering feel here too. These seats keep you well bolstered. You can hear there, the gearing is quite closely spaced. Keeps you in the power band. Let's put us back into normal mode here. Cruising on the highway here, 70 miles an hour, 2,000 RPM. Actually about 1900 RPM. No wonder this gets 37 mpg. You have highway driving assist in this K5. The lane keep assist does a really nice job keeping you centered. The torque limits on this steering assist are a little bit low, so it's not going to negotiate corners at highway speeds very well at all, but it'll keep you nicely centered between the lines. Radar cruise is very good. Again, Kia does a really nice job with their driver assistance systems, and this is no exception. It's not perfect. You do have to stay aware and alert with what you're doing, and the wheel does tend to kind of jiggle back and forth, but it's definitely one of the better systems on the market. All right, well, while we're just tooling around town here, let's go in and listen to some music. Go into our playlists. This is the upgraded Bose Centerpoint system. It's actually quite nice, probably class leading in this segment. I also learned something recently. For the last, I don't know how many years, I've been pressing up on the steering wheel to take myself to the next track. It's actually down, which is completely counterintuitive. I do really like the highway driving assist features in these cars. They just work so well. It takes some of the stress out of driving. You need to go in, change a setting in the infotainment, change a track, take your eyes off the road for just a split second. It's easy to engage and disengage. Great system. You do have to keep your eye on it. It's not perfect, but it does a really good job overall. You can skip 5-mile-an-hour increments by holding the button. The system's easy enough to turn on and off. Yeah, very good. For the price point, this is one of the better driving assistance systems on the market. I like this Bose sound system too. This is a nicer Bose unit. It really has nice highs. It has nice lows. The mid range is great. No major complaints on that either. How can we sum up this Kia K5? Well, I think there's a lot to like. It's not necessarily sporty or particularly fun to drive, but it has good enough driving dynamics. If you want something that's a little bit faster and racier, I'd definitely go for the K5 GT. That's probably going to be just a kind of a Veloster N in sedan form. But as it sits for around 28 grand, something like this is a pretty good buy. I think it's a nice alternative to the Accord. I do prefer the way the Accord drives, and they also offer a hybrid powertrain and just a faster option with the 2-liter. But this is up there to the top. I think it's a little bit more exciting and well appointed than the Camry, but there's also the Hyundai Sonata, and that's a really nice car too. There's definitely a little bit less wind noise and road noise in here, I think, than the Sonata has. Kia tends to tune their sedans to be a little bit more fun to drive, and that's definitely the case here. Really, my only complaint about this car is just a little bit rattly. And that's nothing new with Kia. I've always every Kia I've had has had a few little creaks here and there, so that's something that they could definitely work on. I don't think it's a deal breaker, but just something to note in this car. The tech you get in this K5 is great. Everything works really well. The screen is beautiful. The infotainment is awesome. The Apple CarPlay, Android Auto integration is very well done. No bugs or weird glitches. You kind of get all of the features that you would want out of a midsize sedan. Yeah, Kia's done a good job with this car. I am impressed. And it is nice that they offer all-wheel drive if you just need a little bit more all-weather capability. And I'm sure that'll put its power down just fine. Alright guys, well that's it for this one. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. We will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.